Hey guys, it's Adaprox BHA here bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Adapro, or Adapro, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, in conjunction with Tuya, sent me over a super cool item to check out called the Fingerbot. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of the Switchbot. You can check out my video tutorial on that one as well. But the Fingerbot, to me, I think is even better. And we're going to take a look at it today and kind of see how it holds up against the Switchbot. Here we go. All right, so the Fingerbot is about $30 on their website, which isn't that bad of a price. But if you need everything as far as you want the BLE Bridge as well as the tool pack, it's going to run you about 80 bucks for everything. I really do like the tool pack and I think it's definitely worth it. I do feel that if they aren't already, at some point you will be able to 3D print all kinds of attachments and stuff, and you won't need to buy those tool packs anymore. Nonetheless, 30 bucks for the Fingerbot itself is not that bad of a deal. So let's do a quick run through everything we're going to cover in this video. So of course, for starters, we're going to start with unboxing the device like we normally do. Once we do that, then we will look at go ahead and getting our Fingerbot charged, because since this runs on a rechargeable battery, we want to make sure it has a full charge. After that, then I think we are ready to install the Bluetooth gateway or Bluetooth bridge into our Tuya app. Once that's done, then of course we will get the Fingerbot installed and of course configured with the app and the Bluetooth bridge. After that, we're going to attempt to set it up in Home Assistant. And then lastly, I'm just going to kind of give you my final thoughts. So let's get started. All right, so as always, we're going to start by unboxing the device. The first one we got here is the bridge. Not a lot of information on the outside of the box there. I have a little bit of information since they don't provide you with any actual instructions. They have a QR code there for you to scan and view the user manual for this. But inside the box, of course, you get the bridge itself. And then, of course, also get the USB cable that you'll use to power it on with. Next up, we have the Fingerbot itself. So again, not a lot of information on the outside. I got some of the specs listed there. And of course, again, in order to view the user manual, you'll scan that QR code there on the outside of the box. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. All right, see if we can get this thing out of the box here. So it comes standard with just the regular little push arm. There's the on-off switch on the back, and of course the USB port to charge it. Inside the box, you also get a very short charger for it as well. There's also the double-sided 3M tape that's included with it as well to give you the ability to, of course, attach it wherever you need to. And then, of course, the third box I have here is the tool pack, which comes with the various attachments that you can swap out depending on what you're wanting to control, of course, with the Fingerbot itself. All right, so inside the tool pack box here, we got some spacers, little wooden spacers. Not quite sure why they went with those, but I guess it will give you the ability to set it up and give it the right space it needs to control whatever button or switch you want it to control. And then, of course, inside that, you have different size arms as well as a hook for standard American toggle switches that you'll see a lot of times in the United States. And then, of course, plenty of double sided 3M tape to attach it to whatever you need to. All right, so for the basic specs, there's nothing special that you really need to know other than it does use a USB-C type connection for its charger, which is a little different as you see on some of the other devices, but of course, a lot of stuff is moving to that. As for the wireless protocol, of course, it's using Bluetooth, and the battery capacity is 500 milliamps. Obviously, this is designed to work indoors, so this is not outdoor rated, not preferred to be used outside. Lastly, I just kind of wanted to show you how you would swap out one of these attachments. I think this is pretty cool and one of my favorite features about the Fingerbot. Because of this, I feel like you will at some point, if not already, be able to 3D print all kinds of different attachments that you could use to make this work in so many more additional ways. But so basically, you're going to go through here. Let's see, we'll pick one of these. We'll just try this hook one. You basically just slide it in there. So we pulled the other one off. This one just slides right in its place, and that's it. That's all you got to do. So pretty cool, pretty easy to swap out those attachments. I really wish that tool pack was included with the Fingerbot itself, but still very cool that you have the ability to do all that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get this thing charging and ready for installation. All right, so for charging this Fingerbot, of course, they only gave us a little miniature short cable, so it's kind of a downside, but we got this thing plugged in here to a USB port. So it does not come with a power brick either, so if you don't have one, of course, you'll need to find one, steal one off of your phone charger or something like that. It only takes about an hour to charge, so that should not take us long to get this thing fully charged. In the meantime, we're going to jump on to the next step and get the bridge added into the app. All right, so as you can see here, I've got my Adapro bridge here plugged in. It's powered on. You can see the blinking light there, so we know it's in pairing mode and ready to get added into our app. Now, Adapro makes their own app that you can use for adding these devices. I've gone with the Tuya app or the Tuya Smart app because I plan to try to get this thing added into Home Assistant and felt like that it might be easier to do with our existing Tuya Smart app that I've already got all my other devices added to. It would work pretty much the same way with either app. We're going to hit the plus up in the corner there. We're looking for the section for the gateway control. And of course, this is a Bluetooth bridge. Looks like it's called wireless gateway. We'll click on that. Of course, it's already got the red or pink flashing light. So we are ready to go ahead and hit next. And it immediately found the Adapro Bluetooth bridge. Of course, we got to put in our wireless credentials here. Let it go through the final setup, and there it is. Office BLE Bridge. We're going to go ahead and tweak the name just a little bit. We just want it to say Office BLE Bridge. That should be fine. But that's it. If we click on it now, let's see what options we have as far as editing it. So you can see the device information. You have the basic configuration, not a whole lot of things that you can do with it other than add devices to it. So that's pretty much all we get with configuring the bridge. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step. And hopefully this thing will have enough juice in it to get it added into the app as well. All right, so originally I was going to install this in my office, but I've kind of changed my mind. I'm looking at a way to be able to power on my son's computer whenever it is not currently on. And fortunately for this computer, I don't have a dedicated network line ran to it, so it's on Wi-Fi, and it doesn't currently support wireless Wake on LAN. So I don't have a way to power it on remotely, and I'm hoping that this Fingerbot here will help me out with that. And of course, here we have it installed. It just kind of mounts right there behind it, and the little arm's going to go down and push that button. But because of the size of that power button, we, of course, will still be able to manually turn it on if we need to. And, of course, that Fingerbot will not get in the way. So that's good. So now that we have it where we want it, we're going to go ahead and pull out our trusty Tuya app again. Again, we're using the Tuya app versus the Adapro app because, we are hoping to get it added into Home Assistant. For this one, you don't actually add the device necessarily right here. So we're going to jump on just like we added any other Tuya device. We'll hit the plus in the top corner. And before I can even select anything, it's actually already come up. Devices to be added. It says Fingerbot, so it already saw it. So we're going to say go to add. Hit the little plus there. Let it do its initial search. And then, of course, now we can name it however we want. Now, as you can see here, I called it Office Fingerbot, but I obviously changed my mind as far as where I was going to install it. So we changed the name to Cadence Fingerbot because that's kind of where it's going to be installed on his computer there. That's my son. Nonetheless, everything works as expected. There's not a lot of things that you can change, but you do have the ability to change what mode you want to use as far as if you want it to be a push button that will go down and stay down, like a switch, or if you wanted to push it and then immediately retract. So there's a couple of different options there. You just choose switch mode there, and it will kind of go through those different choices there. You also have the up and down movement, so you can say how far it will extend out. If you didn't need it to fully extend all the way, then you could say only a certain number lower. I think 100 is the max down movement. So if you wanted to not go out as far, then you would just change that to a lower number there. The top there is the off and on button there that allows you to control it. There's also another option down there in the corner that says invert switch. So depending on the scenario where you're using it, you may want on to be off and off to be on. Then you have the ability to invert that to make it work to whatever your configuration is. But we now have it added into the Tuya app. Again, you have the same basic information. You can get that device information on it. And other than that, that is about it. All right, so I just wanted to kind of show you how it worked. So I thought we would just pull it up here. On the left side, I have the app. On the right side, of course, there's the video of the Fingerbot itself. And we're just going to go ahead and turn this thing on. And immediately you can see it drop down and push that button, which turned the computer on. Obviously it's super responsive straight from the app and works pretty well. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step and see if we can get this thing added into Home Assistant. All right, so I'm not gonna lie to you. Unfortunately, I could not get this thing added into Home Assistant. From what I can gather, the fact that this device is not directly connected to the Tuya cloud, like it has to go through the Bluetooth bridge, it will not work in this situation. As far as the Tuya API does not work well with devices that are not directly connected to the Tuya cloud. So at this time, there is not currently a way to do it. Now, I tried it with the Home Assistant integration, which is the production integration. I also tried it with the local Tuya custom integration that is also out there in Home Assistant, thinking that it might work differently. Tried it with both. Unfortunately, neither worked. So I'm not going to go into details as far as what I did since it didn't work. I don't see any reason to go through all that junk. I just wanted to let you guys know that we did try to get it added into Home Assistant, and unfortunately, based on its current configuration and the way things are set up, the Tuya API does not allow for those types of devices and does not currently work. Hopefully that might change in the future. I know there are definitely people working on that issue and trying to figure out a way around it. So if that does become available, then of course we will do a follow-up video to kind of showcase that and show you how to set all that up. Nonetheless, let's move on to our last step. We'll go over some pros and cons of what I like, dislike about this device. All right, so for my pros, obviously the Fingerbot, the fact that it's rechargeable is a huge plus. You don't have to replace batteries. I really do like that feature, especially compared to the Switchbot. I mean, the price wise for both of them is the same. So I feel like um, just comparing apples to apples, you're getting the price to be about the same. Another pro is the interchangeable arms. The fact that you can swap out those pieces and hopefully, like I said before, in the future, be able to 3D print your own interchangeable parts that will fit there for whatever your unique situation is. I think that is definitely a huge pro and definitely worth considering. Another thing is the various color options. It looks like you can get, at least as far as I can tell, red, black, and white. There may be some other options that come available in the future. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool that they gave you several different choices there. For the cons, obviously, one of the cons is the fact that it's only Bluetooth. I totally understand why that's the case. But you know, if it did have wireless capabilities, then obviously that would make it easier to get it added into Home Assistant and stuff like that. But I do realize that would drain the battery more, and there are reasons why they go the direction that they go. Obviously, the other major con for me, of course, is that it does not work with Home Assistant. Obviously, if you're using tons of Tuya devices and you're completely happy with just using the Tuya app to control everything, then this may be even perfect for you because, again, this is just another device, another type of device that works with the Tuya app very well, and you certainly have all the functionality you need there. The fact that the tool pack is separate. Though I really like the ability to change out the different arms and pieces with that tool pack, I hate that you have to buy it separately. I wish that that tool pack was just included with the Fingerbot. I feel like I would even probably pay a little bit more for the Fingerbot if I got all those pieces with the package. I still think it would be worth it. And so, Adapro, Tuya, guys, if you're considering it, I'm telling you, go for it. Put the tool pack with the Fingerbot, sell it that way. It's definitely a better option. But that's it, guys. That is my pros and cons to the Fingerbot. Overall, I definitely feel like the Fingerbot is a better option than Switchbot, even though you can't currently control it with Home Assistant. Obviously, that's not going to be everybody's issue. That's just mine. If you haven't had a chance, jump over to Adapro's website. I'll have the link in the description below. See what all the other items that they have to offer. I'll also throw the Tuya link down there as well, so you can check out Tuya's website because, of course, they have tons of stuff there as well. Let's do a quick run through of everything we covered in this video. So, of course, we started out by unboxing the device. Once we did that, we went on and charged the Fingerbot so that it would be ready to go. After that, of course, we configured the bridge and got it set up in the Tuya app. Once that was done, we added the Fingerbot to the Tuya app as well. We attempted and failed to get it added into Home Assistant. And then, of course, lastly, I just kind of went over my final thoughts, pros and cons of what I like, dislike about the Fingerbot. As always, I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, jump over to my spring merchandise page and check out all the Burns home automation merchandise. If you are in need of VPN service, check out IP Vanish. I'll have the link in the description below, so head on over there and see what all they have to offer and what deals that they are running right now. And if you are interested in trading stocks or maybe cryptocurrency, check out Robinhood and hit my link in the description below. If you sign up through Robinhood with that link, you and I both will get free shares of stock. So it's a win-win for both of us. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.